Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We thank you. Everyone's phones turned off? We thank you for joining us in this spirit of perfect harmony. We are the Center for Spiritual Living, West Georgia. We study and practice the philosophy of science of mind by our beloved founder, Ernest Holmes. This philosophy teaches energy and the principles of law, which we know as God, and our spiritual presence and participation in our service this morning. We actually create a higher state of consciousness. We create this consciousness above all negative energy that might have transpired during the week. We know love is synonymous to God, and the most powerful and most gentle force in the universe. And we have a fantastic message for you today. But first, we're going into meditation with Miss Nelta.
Good morning. So if you would, let's prepare for our morning meditation by closing your eyes and getting comfortable. This is a forest visualization. Begin by finding a comfortable position. Allow your body to begin to relax as you start to create a picture in your mind. Let the forest visualization begin. Imagine yourself walking on a path through a forest. The path is soft beneath your shoes, a mixture of soil, fallen leaves, pine needles, and moss. As you walk, your body relaxes and your mind clears more and more with each step you take. Breathe in the fresh mountain air, filling your lungs completely. Now exhale. Excuse me. Bring out all the air, feeling refreshed. Take another deep breath in, revitalizing, and breathe out completely, letting your body relax further. Can you continue to breathe slowly and deeply as you walk through the forest and continue the forest visualization. The air is cool but comfortable. Sun filters through the trees, making a moving, dappled pattern on the ground before you. Listen to the sounds of the forest. Birds singing, a gentle breeze blowing, the leaves on the trees swift and sway in the soft wind. Your body relaxes more and more as you walk. Count your steps and breath in unison with your stride. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Just continue to breathe like this slowly and deeply as you become more and more relaxed. As you walk through the forest visualization, feel your muscles relaxing and lengthening. As your arms swing in rhythm with your walking, they become loose, relaxed, and limp. Feel your back relaxing as your spine lengthens and the muscles relax. Feel the tension leaving your body as you admire the scenery around you. Your legs, your lower body relaxes as well, feeling free and relaxed. As you continue to walk through the forest visualization, you begin to climb up a slight incline. You're easily tread among the smooth rocks on the path, feeling one with nature. The breeze begins to blow through the treetops, but you're sheltered on the path, and the air around you is calm. Small saplings grow at the side of the path. Around you is an immense array of greens. Some of the leaves on the trees are a delicate light green, and some are deep, dark, true forest green. Many trees have needles that look very soft and very green. The forest floor is thick green moss. Tall trees grow on either side of the path. Picture the variety of trees around you. Some have smooth white bark. Others are darker, with coarse, heavy bark deeply grooved. Enjoy the colors of the bark on the trees. White, tan, brown, red, black. Many combinations of color. You admire the rough brown bark of pine trees and enjoy the fresh pine scent. Smell the forest around you. The air is fresh and filled with scent of trees, soil, and mountain streams. You can hear the sound of the water faintly in a distance, the gentle bubbling sound of a creek. As you continue to walk through the forest, you're gaining elevation and getting closer to the sound of the running stream. Continue to enjoy the forest around you. As you near the top of the mountain, you can hear the stream very slow. The path curves ahead. You can see sunlight streaming onto the path. As you round the corner, you hear the water and see a clearing in the trees up ahead. A beautiful lookout point awaits. You're growing tired from your journey. Your body feels pleasantly tired and heavy. Imagine you're walking toward the clearing and the stream. Stepping stones make an easy path across the stream and toward the edge of the mountain. Step on each large flat stone to easily cross the small shallow stream. Up ahead is a large smooth rock like a chair waiting for you to rest. The rock is placed perfectly high up on this beautiful vantage point. Sit or lie down on the rock if you wish. It's very comfortable. You feel very comfortable and at ease. The sun shines down on you. Looking around, you see mountains in the distance, faint and blue. You can look down from your vantage point into a valley with trees and brilliant blue lake. Across from you is another mountain. The clearing around you is made up of rocks, soil, pine needles, moss, and grass. The grass and mountain wildflowers around you blow gently in the breeze. The deer emerges quietly from the edge of the forest to gaze in the clearing. As the deer raises its head to look at you, you can see its nostrils moving to catch your scent. The deer cautiously walks to the stream. to drink before disappearing back into the forest. Squirrels dart in and out of sight as they romp through the trees and race across the clearing. Feel the sun warming your body as you relax on the rock. Enjoy the majestic landscape around you and feel your body relaxing even more, letting go of all stress and all worries. Anything that might have upset you has dissipated. Your body becomes very warm and very heavy. Continue to breathe the clear, fresh air. You feel so relaxed, calm, at peace, in unity with nature around you. Just enjoy the way this feels. And when you're ready to leave this peaceful place, slowly begin to reawaken your body. Know that you can return to this forest visualization in your imagination whenever you like. As you awaken, keeping you feeling calm, peace, and relaxation. Just wiggle your fingers and toes to wake your muscles. Shrug your shoulders, stretch if you want. When you're ready, open your eyes and return to full awakeness, feeling alert and refreshed. And so it is.
So it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Nelta. That was wonderful. Please stand and let us read together our vision and mission statement along with our declaration of principles. CSL West Georgia is a joyful global community where everyone belongs. Through our unique spiritual teachings, we provide a safe environment to experience compassionate living. Our declaration of principle. I believe there is one creative intelligence operating throughout the universe. I believe my purpose is to allow the divine mind to express in, as, and through me. I know that this divine presence is a power for good, which responds to my conscious use to create a life filled with health, love, peace, and success in all things. I use it now, I rejoice in it, and so it is. And our community song.
We're going to do the hug song. Shauna came back. She's been on vacation. You ready? Take a little love and pass it on. Take a little love and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. Take a little love and pass it on. Take a little love and pass it on. Take a little love and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. Take a little love and pass it on. Joy. Take a little joy and pass it on. Woo-hoo. Take a little joy and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. Take a little joy and pass it on. Take a smile. Take a little smile and pass it on. Oh yeah. Take a little smile and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. Take a little smile and pass it on. Now hug. Take a little hug and pass it on. All right, let's hug. Take a little hug and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. Take a little hug and pass it on. Take a little hug and pass it on. Take a little hug and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. Take hugging. Take a little hug and pass it on. Can I get a hug? Take a little hug and pass it on. And before you know it, the world's gonna show it. Take a little hug and pass it on. Oh, we gotta keep hugging now. John and Kathy are here. Take a little hug and pass it on. Take a little hug and pass it on. And before you know it, the world's gonna show it. Take a little hug and pass it on. Keep hugging. Take a little hug and pass it on. Woo-hoo. Take a little hug and pass it on. And before you know it, the world is gonna show it. Take a little hug and pass it on. All right. Woo-hoo. That was some good hugging. Good hugging.
Good hugging. Now, let's welcome our reading by Connie Marshall.
You know, Connie.
Thank you, thank you. Happy December, everyone. Yes, this is my favorite month. It's my birth month. And I give honor and thanks to my mother who allowed me to come through her channel. Yes. Okay, I'm reading a little part from Science of Mind magazine by Reverend Alexander. You know who he is, right? SLC. SLCLCA or CSL, okay, in Atlanta. Okay. So,
SLC, yeah.
okay. It's one of those. Okay. How beautiful is this season's celebration and reflection to see the world through the eyes of wonder with a heart of gratitude. There are a number of wonderful ways to take the time during the bustle of year-end activities to make space for sacred practice. As Holmes said in this month's article, the divine withholds nothing. I encourage you to make the time for a silent reflection of who you are becoming, and your commitment to your greater good unfolding. Life is full of reasons why we simply do not have time for such things. But don't be bothered by your long list for busy work. At some point, we all have to return to the basics of why we are here and who we are. The consequence for not doing so is waking up to discover that we are living lives we don't like, working jobs we can't stand, spending money we don't even have, to buy things we don't need, to impress people we don't even want to be around. No, that life is not for you. You are part of the great economy of God, designed on purpose, in purpose. Use this time to get in touch with what that means for you. Evelyn Underhill said, we spend our lives conjugating these verbs: to want, to have, to do, craving, clutching, fussing on the material, political, social, emotional, and intellectual, even on the religious plane. We're kept in perpetual unrest, forgetting that none of these verbs have any ultimate significance, except so far as they are transcended by and included in the fundamental verb to be. That being, not wanting, having, doing, is the essential of a spiritual life. I know you have presents to buy, parties to attend, family to see. But don't forget that most important gift you can give this season is the gift of self-discovery. Be intentional about carving out some sacred space time to contemplate who you have to come here to be. Then ask yourself what commitment you will make to unfolding your highest purpose in the new year. Spirit is calling you home to your authentic self. Give yourself permission to go there. Travel well. So it is.
And so it is. Thank you. We have visitors today, John and Kathy Stringer. And I have a surprise for you. I hope you like it. Here we go. We're getting our little trio together here. This is a song by one of my favorite songwriters, Mr. John Stringer. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. And no matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, this is the place in this world with open arms right here. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here. And no matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, this is the place in this world with open arms right here. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Now we've come to the place where the congregation is going to sing along and clap. If you got two hands out there, we'd like to see you put them together. Sing with us now. Love is welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace. Peace is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. Joy. Joy A new version, right?
What a wonderful trio. We have such a special guest who's not a guest. She's a part of our family. Dawn Scotland will be here speaking any moment. She's an attorney. She's an accomplished in the science of mind. She's been a part of the Science of Mind family for quite some time. I want you to welcome Dawn Scotland.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I am so excited because I didn't know that all my mentors would be in the same room. I mean, this is just, I almost feel like I'm on examination here. So let me just give you I'm supposed to tell you about myself because I never tell anybody about my bio. So let's see, where do I start? Well, I guess I'll start with this. This is not the most important thing, but I have a master's degree. And that master's degree allowed me to teach adults for a good part of my adult life. I've taught in Chicago. I've taught here in Georgia at Clark Atlanta University, Georgia State, Chattahoochee Tech. There's another one. I can't even remember the name of it now. It's where they teach you about computers. You know what it is? Okay, so anyway, another college. And so that is kind of why I like teaching. It's just in me. I didn't start out to be a teacher, but when I got out of grad school, my friends kept telling me, you should be a teacher, because even back then, I guess I liked teaching things. And I mean, I can't even remember what I was teaching then, but they said, you should be a teacher. So I figured I'd try it, and guess what? I really liked it. So I did that, but when I was a kid, when I was about this high, I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. You know, when people say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, well, I want to be a lawyer. Now, I don't know where I got that from. We know where I got it from, right? Because I didn't know any lawyers. What do you want to be? Never been to court. You know, I saw Perry Mason on TV and what was it, Matlock and those, but I just knew that I was supposed to be a lawyer. So not really having any kind of guidance about my education. And back in those days, to be a lawyer, you had to have a political science major, which I started out with, or an economics major. That's how you became, that was the track to becoming a lawyer. So I got into college and I found out that I liked poetry better than, political science. And I didn't even know anything about economics. So I just switched my major, following my heart. And when it was time to graduate, it's like, now what do I do, So to make a long story short, I'll try, I was a teacher and I taught for many, many years, all these different adult situations. I even taught for the Chicago Urban League in multicultural awareness. So, it was just like that was my career. And then one day it occurred to me, what would my life be like if I were a lawyer? Because it was still in me. I wanted to be a lawyer, but you got to go to law school, you got to take all these exams before you get to law school. And I said, well, I'm gonna have to go for it. So by that time, I had a pretty noteworthy career as an instructor. That was the rank that I was in because I didn't have a PhD. And my boss at Clark Atlanta University and my boss at Georgia State, I was teaching at Clark in the mornings,
or during the day, and then I was teaching at Georgia State at night, right? So both of them at the same time make this proposition. We want you to go get a PhD. We will pay for it. Free ride, okay? All you have to do is go, and it gets even better. When you're finished, you have a job, right? But I was thinking, maybe I should be a lawyer. So I wouldn't accept the offers. And I didn't want to tell anybody because, you know, when you have a dream that seems so far-fetched, you don't want to tell people because you think that they're going to think you've lost your mind. Well, I finally had to tell my boss. Well, she started calling me lazy, and she meant it. She said, "What is wrong with you? You know, we don't make this offer to anybody. You know, you're just lazy." And she was saying it with venom in her voice, you know? And finally, I had to tell her, well, you know, I've really decided to go to law school. By this time, I had applied to several law schools. And so that's what I'm going to do. And she just looked at me like I was dirt. Okay. Now, my boss at Georgia State was much kinder, and she said she understood. But here's the point. I stepped out on what my heart was telling me to do, and that was what I was really supposed to do. Now, I came out of school with a bunch of school loans, over $100,000 worth of school loans. It was very difficult, very challenging. I had medical issues when I was in law school. The closest people to me, except for my mom, people just died while I was in law school, and I was not around. You know, I don't know why you want to be around when somebody's dying, but it just kind of leaves you with this sort of a sense of guilt when you weren't there when they breathed their last breath. But to make a long story even longer, it was very challenging. It was a very challenging thing for me to do. And once I finished, I knew the whole time that I was doing the right thing, because you can tell when you're doing the right thing. There's something within you that gives you a sense of power. I think that's what I was feeling. I was feeling power, like this is what you're supposed to do, regardless of what's going on around you. What I'm trying to get to is I became a lawyer. And I have never looked back. It is obvious that this is God's calling for me. A PhD would have been nice, and I could have gotten it for free, but, you know. And here's the other thing I want to say. I have an affirmation, and I don't know if I've shared this in class. I go to Thursday night class. You all should come. It's really fun, right? We have a good time, right? Okay, so anyway, the affirmation is, I always have more than enough of everything I need. I always have, not enough, more than enough of everything I need. So, you know, I was able to, you know, pay these they were not little school loans, they were very large school loans. Over $100,000 when you're trying to live a life in America is not something to sneeze at. However, this is how God works. After serving as a lawyer for about 30 some odd years, I ended up having 2 strokes back to back within 6 months. So I had to go out on Social Security disability. But when I went out on Social Security disability, I qualified for some government thing that as long as you're disabled for, what was it? I think it was like 7 years. If you're disabled continually for 7 years, your school loans are forgiven. Okay? So I had about, I would say at least 25, maybe 20 years worth, or maybe 10, maybe about 10 years worth of school loans still to pay, because I had a 30-year note for my education. So it's gone. It's just disappeared. So it wasn't free, but it's gone. So I ended up getting a half-free law school education. And as you can see, I don't look like I had 2 strokes within 6 months, do you? Okay, and nobody even really believed me when I told them, because one thing, I never lost my ability to speak, which is what lawyers need. So, but I did lose some other abilities that made me say, well, I need to step away from this. I need to step away from this private practice I have because I don't feel like I'm 100%. But anyway, so that's my career. That's my resume. How did I get here? Okay, this is the good part. So, one day I was drafted on the spot to speak. And I had taken several science of mind classes, so I felt like, oh, I can do this, and I spoke. And Janet Jackson told me at the end of the talk, you should be a public speaker. And I'm like, nah, because being a lawyer is we're not public speakers. I mean, it looks like that on TV, but that's not the way it is. So she was the one that encouraged me. She said, you should be a public speaker. And she gave me a lot of encouraging words and warm hugs and this and that. And, she kind of planted that idea. I'm still not thinking I want to be a public speaker. I'm still not really wanting to be a public speaker. Like I didn't want to be a teacher, right? But anyway, then my mentor, Janet Jackson. Stand up, Janet. Let us all see who you are. She's right there. Then, of course, there's Shauna. Shauna speaks to us sort of on a regular basis, but I'm always just so refreshed and so happy to hear her speak. And I learned from her that I have to have references. So I brought my Bible. And I always bring a Bible or Bible quotes because I learned that from Shauna. Stand up, Shauna. And then when I saw John Stringer come in here, I could not believe it because what I learned from him is to have eye contact. I tell you, every time John is here, I look at him and he looks me dead in the eye, then he looks somebody else dead in the eye. I said, I've got to learn that. He's got that down. Stand up, John. And last but not least is my good friends, Deborah Worthy and Dorothea. These two sisters, they challenge me every week. Dorothea challenges me in class, and then Deborah challenges me on the phone after class. So what they do is they help me refine my thoughts about religious science. And, they're just two people that I just really enjoy talking to. We don't always agree. That's the thing. We agree a good, 85% of the time, maybe 85%. But that other 15%, they work me, both of them. And they didn't know it until just this moment. Stand up, sisters. So that's how I got here. Okay, that's how I got here. Now, here's my talk. Got to put my glasses on. All right. Any questions? You're lucky I don't have a blackboard or a whiteboard because I'd be covered in chalk by now. All right. It's just so exciting for all of you to be here. And I'm still scared. So I've got to learn that from Dorothea. She is like just so calm and comfortable in front of people. And I'm like, I'm always just shaking. Now put a judge over there and put a opposing counsel over here, I'm good. But put all my friends here, and I'm here, I'm like, oh my gosh, you can tell my knees are just shaking. Okay, and don't forget, everybody, who knows Greta Counts? Okay, so these are my Greta Counts boots, right? Right? All right, so we learn from each other. I want to sing a song for you. I want you to sing along with me. We can do it a cappella. we can do it a cappella. Let me just get my talk up here first. Okay, so this is the song. First, I'm gonna let you get the clap. It goes like this. Ready? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna sing it one time and then you're gonna sing it behind me. God is already here. Can't you feel his presence? He's already here. All you have to do is open up your heart, 'cause God is already here. Anybody know that song? It is already here. Can't you feel his presence? He's already here. All you have to do is open up your heart, 'cause he is already here. One more time. God is already here. Can't you feel his presence? He's already here. All you have to do is open up your heart, 'cause he is already here. Okay, thank you, thank you. All right, now let me put these glasses back on. The title of my talk is, and I got this, I piggyback off of my good friend Dorothea over here, God's healing power, as real as gravity, as reliable as sunrise, as available as the air we breathe. So we had some breathing exercises earlier today with Nelta. Did anybody have any trouble breathing? No, it was easy. Okay, that's how God is, easy, as available as the air we breathe. So that's my talk, the title of my talk, and it's about God's healing power. Dorothea was talking to us, I think, was it last week, about healing power? And this is what I wanted to piggyback off of. You don't have to be sick to need God's healing power or to want God's healing power. Because when we talk about God's healing power, we're talking about healing in all areas of our life. So there's our health, there's our love experiences with our family and friends, neighbors. There's our creative self-expression. What is it that you want to do every day when you wake up? That's your creative self-expression. Do you want to be a lawyer or do you want to be a PhD teacher? And there's health. Did I say health? Health, love. There's 4 areas: creative self-expression, and let's say money, because that's one of my favorite subjects. But we'll just throw that in. But anyway, you can need or want healing in any one of those areas. So we often think of healing as being physical healing. We have some sort of physical condition or malady or, some complaint that we want to be rid of. And we look to God's healing power to help us address that. But healing, when we talk about religious science, we're talking about healing in all areas of our lives. That's number 1. Okay. And I want to tell you about, I said that God's healing power is as real as gravity. Is there anybody that doubts that gravity exists? No doubts? Raise a hand if you've seen it. Anybody who's seen gravity? not the demonstration, but seeing the power of gravity. It's invisible to us on this plane, isn't that right? Well, gravity is something that we all pretty much clear exists, works constantly. We know not to jump off a bridge. We know not to jump off my father used to say, if your friends jump off a roof, are you going to jump off a roof too? And you're like, no. And I knew the answer was no, and I knew why, right? But I was like a kid. So here's the thing. We all know about gravity. None of us has seen it. Well, guess what? That's God. You know, and it's so funny how we can readily accept the power of gravity in our lives, but then some of us are like, well, I don't believe in God. My father didn't believe in God. It was crazy. I mean, like he knew about gravity, but he didn't believe in God. So, but this is the thing. Just like gravity is invisible and reliable, God also is invisible and reliable. Now, the sunrise. When we go to sleep at night, we never even think that the sun may not come up the next morning. We're just hoping that it won't come up too early, right? But we know it's coming. It's, like clockwork. It's never on the news, but we know it's coming because it's reliable. Over the course of existence, the sunrise always comes up. And it may come up in different times in different parts of our country because, it moves from east to west and all of that. But it's coming. And if you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and the sun is not up, sleep a little longer. It's coming, right? We know this. Well, God is as reliable as sunrise. Trust me, God never takes a vacation. God doesn't need an alarm clock to get up and make our day. God is as constant and reliable as sunrise. So we've got 3 things that you have very good experience with, personal experience: gravity, sunrise, and the air we breathe. We're all here breathing right now, almost effortlessly, right? Well, that's like God. You don't have to go high up on a mountain and have a certain pose. That helps some people, but it's not necessary because God is as available to each one of us as the air we breathe. And unlike some of the air in our country that may not be as healthy as we like, I understand on the West Coast, there's a lot of fires and the air has toxic qualities to it. God's never toxic. God is always as fresh and as available as the air that we are all breathing today. So I just want to make everybody clear. Does everybody resonate with that? Okay. So now I want to talk about healing power. How do we know that it exists? This is what I started thinking about. Do you know how they have all these different shrines all over the world where people who have been healed by the Holy Spirit or by spirit, we like to say spirit. We for some reason we don't want to say holy, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But people who have been healed by spirit, they come there on crutches and they get healed and they leave the crutches at the shrine. And there are shrines all over the country, all over the world, where people have left crutches and canes and casts and things that indicated that they were sick and they were injured. And they come to these places with a belief and an expectancy that they'll be healed. And once they're healed, they do a holy dance and they leave that stuff, that paraphernalia, at the shrine. This is like worldwide. How can that be if it were not so? How can it be that spirit cannot heal if it were not so. And it's happening in almost, I'd say, every city in Georgia, all over the nation, all over the world. This is this idea of spiritual healing, and I'm talking about physical healing now. Okay, it's real. It's real, and I want to tell you about my experience with physical healing. Okay, it doesn't have much to do with science of mind, but it does have something to do with spirit. I'm going to sit right now and I'm going to tell you about this, and then I've got more. So I think I may have mentioned this before, but I never get tired of telling this story. Because for me, if I ever had any doubt in spiritual healing, it was cast out by this experience. So I had developed a pain in my knee that got progressively worse over the course of maybe a month. It got so bad, it was this knee, it's my left knee. It got so bad that this leg was almost useless. So that I would always know in the morning when I got in my car, first it would hurt, but I'd gotten to the point that it hurt so bad that when I got into the car, I'd have to pick my leg up like this because it was not working. I'd have to pick my leg up and put it into the car because that was the only way I was going to get that leg in the car. So I really was just ignoring it, and I wasn't taking care of it or doing anything, but it was definitely bothering me. And then one night I was sleeping, and I'd fallen asleep with my television on. And at some weird wee hour in the morning, well after midnight, I just woke up. And my knee was still hurting. And there are these televangelists on TV, and they're doing this thing where there's a man and a woman, and one of them is saying, there's somebody out there who has tonsillitis, and God says he's healing it right now. And then the other one says, amen, God's healing it right now. And I'm kind of laughing because I used to look at this stuff and laugh all the time, thinking, oh, this is such a, crock, right? And they're just trying to get money and everything. So then they say, and then they just go right from that. There's somebody out there who has migraine headaches. And God says, you don't have to worry about those headaches anymore. They're gone. God has healed those headaches right now. And this goes on a few times. And then out of nowhere, I said, please say knee. Please say knee. I'm talking to the TV. Please say knee. To televangelists that I don't even believe it, right? Please say knee. And I said it like twice. I just said, please say knee, please say knee. You know what happened. There's somebody out there who's having a problem with their knee. And God says he's healing it right now. And just at that instant, I felt this heat. And it was heat. It was like, if you could see it, it was in a spiral, like a big spring. It had the shape of a spring, but it was like a spiral. And it went from here inside the knee, and it started on the outside, and I felt this heat sensation twirling around and going through my knee, right? Now, I can't make this up. This is what happened. So it went through, and that was that. Now, I had swung my legs out of the bed, and I did one of these things just to see. This leg it was almost useless, right? So I'm not going to just stand up on it, right? And this one was fine. So then I got up, and I did another, and it seemed like it was fixed. And I think I did about another step or so. And then the next thing you know, I was like flooded with thanksgiving. And I said, oh, thank you, God. Thank you, God. And I started running. I ran around the house. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. I'm running because my leg is working and it's fixed. And this is what I learned. That's why people do holy dances, because I did a holy dance, the only one I've ever done in my life, but I did it that day. And guess what? My knee has never given me a problem since. Now, that's my story. And it has nothing to do per se with religious science per se, but it does have something to do with the fact that spiritual healing is real. If anything, that's what it taught me. That's what I learned. I learned that spiritual healing is a real phenomenon. And if I had had some sort of cane, I would have, and if I had been at a shrine and that happened, I would have left my cane there to be among all the others, canes and crutches and wheelchairs that get left at these shrines. It's true. I would not come here and tell you a fib. I wouldn't tell you. I'm just telling you what happened. And the reason I think it happened for me was just so that I could share it with you or anybody who has any doubt about spiritual healing. Okay? It's real. And in religious science, what we learn is that all of our physical conditions, we're talking physical healing now, all of our physical conditions start with an erroneous or false belief in our minds. And if we can isolate that false belief and change it, then we will actually be healed of that physical condition. Is that right? I'm looking at this, my teacher, Thursday night. We're agreeing now, so that's good. That's good. So that's what I wanted to tell you about physical healing. Now, I also mentioned that there are other kinds of healing that you may or may not be interested in. You don't have to have a bad knee or, migraine headaches to avail yourself of God's healing power. You can be healed of, if you're in a job, or in a relationship, or in a money circumstance that's not serving you well. Those areas of your life are also available for God to heal if you want. It's up to you if you want. And in class on Thursday nights, what we learn is we learn the techniques of spiritual mind treatment for how to heal ourselves in all those 4 areas, as well as to help heal others. So if you want to know, 7:30 right here, every Thursday night, Dorothea leads the class. I run interference from time to time, but we learn and we have a great time. So, God's healing power, it's as real as gravity. It's as reliable as sunrise, and it's as available as the air we breathe. So, a few weeks ago, my mom was in a bad state for several weeks. You see, she's not here today. She's usually here on Sundays, but she's still recovering. She was in and out of the hospital. And when she went to the emergency room the Friday before Thanksgiving, for the second time in 2 weeks, she wasn't eating, talking. She wasn't even keeping her head up or her eyes open. She didn't know what day it was or what was going on. Frankly, she appeared to be on her way out. The ER doctor admitted her to the hospital that Tuesday night. The hospital discharged her back to Benton House, the assisted living facility where she lives now, without so much as a phone call or a text message to me. They just sent her. And she was in pretty much the same condition as when she had gone in. So when I visited her, it seemed she didn't even know or remember who I was. And I just didn't know what to think. So after Thanksgiving, it was 8 days after she was admitted to the hospital. I visited her, and guess what? She was herself again. She was still bedbound, but she was talking, engaging, smiling, laughing, eating. Her eyes were wide open. She was alert, and she was keeping her head up. She was even sitting up in bed. What a difference 8 days makes, right? But that's God's healing power, because she had so many people treating for her, praying for her. I was treating for her. I was praying for her. And, you know, I think the demonstration was she was back to her old self again. So that's another example of God's healing power. Now, does that mean that at 95 years old, she's going to come back here without the wheelchair? I don't think so. But if it happened, I'd be really happy, and I wouldn't doubt it, you know, because with God, all things are possible. That's right. That's right. So, and the same is true for your finances. If your finances are in a mess or just a little bit undesirable, you can rely on God's healing power to heal your financial situation. Shauna is here. She's our practitioner. And what she does, I'm certain, I haven't seen her yet, but I'm certain. I'm going to see you soon, though, before the new year. But what she does is she helps, to help you identify that false belief that's causing the imbalance in your finances or in your creative self-expression or, you know, in any area of your life. There is a false belief that Shauna can help you identify, and she can help correct it so that you won't have to experience that anymore. It's up to you. I'm smiling because I'm thinking about my experience with a practitioner. I think I told you this one. You know, I had this lovely boyfriend, lovely. He was truly lovely. But I was young, and in my mind, he had no ambition. You know, now I know that ambition is not required to live well, right? But at that point in my life, I felt like you had to have some ambition. And I felt like, well, he doesn't have any ambition. He doesn't want to get married. He doesn't want to take the next step in our lovely relationship. I need to get him out of here. make a what do they call it? Create a vacuum. I need to create a vacuum and let somebody who thinks more like me in, right? And but I couldn't, because he was lovely. When I say he was lovely, he was kind. He was. I don't know. We were. I guess compatible, even though I didn't think we were compatible. There was no way I was going to just quit him because I didn't really have a good reason, right? I think even then I knew that the fact that I thought he had no ambition was not a good reason. So I went to a practitioner. Does anybody know Karen Wolfson? Karen Wolfson, she's a Science of Mind practitioner. She was at the Atlanta church. I used to attend the Atlanta church. And I went to her, made an appointment, and I went and I told her what my problem was. I need some help, you know, getting this relationship out of my life, because it's stagnant. It's not doing anything. It's not going the way I want it to go, you know. And she let me explain. And then she says, okay, let's treat. So I said, well, what do? Do I open my eyes or close them? She said, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, I'll keep them closed because, I'm coming, really, I still have that traditional uh, church in my mind, and I'm thinking this is like prayer, so I better close my eyes. And then I said, well, do we hold hands or what? And she says, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I said I'll hold hands. So she held my hand. And then she did the treatment. I'm laughing because Sean is just smiling at me. She did the treatment. And she did the treatment. And when it was over, I'm thinking, well, thank God this only cost $35 because she didn't hear a word I said. She didn't hear a word I said. And the next day, my lovely boyfriend came by. He brought a ladder because he was trying to fix something in my house. So he brings the ladder. And he didn't have time to fix it. He said, but let me leave the ladder and I'll come back and fix it. I've never seen him again. Never. He didn't come back for his ladder. He didn't come back to fix whatever it was he was supposed to fix. He's gone. I don't know where he is. But I got a ladder, right? So I just want to let you know, don't play around with spiritual mind treatment. It works. Am I telling the truth? It works. Later, I'm sure in life, we will all be able to know, just like we know about gravity, we will know why and how it works. And I can't tell you that now. If I could, I would. But it works. It works. Shauna's available at the end of this service and any other time she's here. And also, I understand there's a box over on the table. If you feel you need treatment in any area of your life, you can fill out this form, yes, and put it in the box. And Dorothea and Shauna will take care of it during the week. So be expecting some changes, okay? Now, so I got most of the information I'm sharing with you from a back and forth text message that I had going with Lily. Where's Lily? There's Lily and Dorothea and, Deborah. Dorothea is here and Deborah. And we were texting back and forth. This is what we do during the week, right? We text back and forth and we end up talking about healing and spiritual mind treatment and all of that. So I just did a treatment for everybody, just so that you can hear it. Now, Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes taught a 5-step procedure for doing spiritual mind treatment. The steps are recognition, unification, affirmation, thanksgiving, and release. Those are the 5 steps. I learned a 7-step process. There are 2 other steps within there. There's recognition, unification, affirmation. Then the 2 added ones are denial and reaffirmation. Those, I think, are particularly helpful for people like myself because I tend to be a little skeptical, you can tell, right? So I'm going to sit down. I'm not sitting forever. I'm going to do this treatment for you. And then I'm going to give you homework. No. I'm going to want to give you homework, but I'm not going to do it. So now listen to this. I just did this treatment just to kind of demonstrate how these steps work. This is about God's healing power, and this goes for any area of your life: health, wealth, love, or creative self-expression. Those 4 terms pretty much cover everything going on in your life, right? Okay. So, first step is recognition. We always start out by saying there's only one God, one mind, one spirit. I say Holy Spirit, but it doesn't matter. Okay, there's only one God, one mind, one spirit. God the good omnipotent, the omniscient, and the omnipresent. Omnipotent means all powerful. Omniscient means all knowing. And omnipresent means everywhere present. Now, there's only one God, one mind, one spirit. God the good omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, essential, the essence of each of us. So, essential means inseparable. So we don't have to go any particular place for this God. It's part of us. It's like, you remember when, well, you don't remember, but you remember hearing about Jesus telling people, his disciples, they said, well, teach us how to pray. And he said, pray like this. And he starts out with, our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, right? He didn't say each of our fathers. He said our one Father. Now, anybody here who's had a father or who's known a father, who's had a child, knows that when that child is born or when that child grows up, that child has the attributes of the father. It may be the father's eyes. It may be the father's laugh. It may be the father's temper. But those attributes of the father are born in the child. Well, guess what? God is our spiritual father. And the attributes of God are in us, each and every one of us. We don't have to go to a seminar to get them. You know, they're there. And the sad thing is, many of us really just don't know. They just don't realize that they actually have God power naturally born in them. But you do. You know this. And that's why I'm sharing it with you just as a reminder that you have the same power and potential that God has in you. Why? Because you're born of God. The spiritual part of you, the part of me that told me that even though everybody's trying to bribe me to get a PhD, I knew I was supposed to do something else. You know, that's God. That's God speaking to you. And that essence of God in you is the same essence of God that will heal any injured or unsatisfactory area in your life. So, there's only one God, one mind, one spirit. God the good omnipotent, the omniscient, omnipresent, essential and inseparable, the essence of each of us. Thus, God, this is the unification. Thus, God's healing power likewise is essential in us all. God's healing power cannot be separated from us. Each of us has God's healing power already in us. And as long as you ignore it, it is of no use to you. But it's just like if you have a dream in your heart, as long as you ignore it, it's of no use to you. But when you acknowledge it and use it, it can just change your life in, so many miraculous ways. 3, the third step is affirmation. I know God's healing power is working in the lives of you, me, anybody you care about, nonstop, 24/7, always and in all ways, to bring right action into fruition. Now, when we talk about right action in science of mind, what we understand is that there is a corresponding action for every thought. So you do have the availability of God's healing power, but if you, let's talk about physical healing again. Let's just say you change the thought in your mind that brought about this physical condition. If you continue to do unhealthy activities, you're still going to end up with the condition, because those activities are coming out of your mind. Your mind really has not been changed, right? If you're still doing unhealthy activities, or maybe you don't know better. And that's when Shauna comes in, because she can help you isolate those false beliefs that are causing the condition that you don't want. So that's when we talk about right action, that's what we're talking about. I know God's healing power is working in my life nonstop, 24/7, always and in all ways, to bring right action into fruition. That's affirmation. Now listen to this. This is denial and reaffirmation. Step 4, anything to the contrary is untrue, no matter how real it may seem. Step 5, because the truth of the matter is God's healing power is as real as gravity, as reliable as the sunrise, and as available as the air we breathe. So regardless of appearances, I fully expect evidence of divine healing to be revealed in my life right now. So that is denial. Anything to the contrary is untrue, because the truth of the matter is, and then you just reaffirm what it is you're attempting to heal. Thanksgiving is the next step. I'm so thankful, so grateful. This is the true reality. That's Thanksgiving. And here comes release. And I release this treatment, my word, to accomplish its intended purpose in God's perfect timing. So there you have it. And so it is. And when we say so it is, it just means it is so. This is it. We have just declared, we've just given our word to the universe, and that's it. It's a done deal. Okay? So there you have it. Those are the steps of treatment. I hope by now, if there's anybody that has an inkling of a doubt about God's healing power, I hope that I've dispelled it. I've told you my story. You can go to any kind of many churches and see all of those crutches and canes and wheelchairs over there in the corner. Those people brought those there. It's not decoration. This is how people demonstrate that they were actually healed by God's healing power. If you have any doubt, you may talk to Shauna, yes, or Dorothea. She's an excellent teacher. Or me. I'm going to give you my phone number right now. Ready? The number is 678-234-1309. I have more stories to tell you about how this has been proven to me over time. Okay, they're not in a book, they're not in a movie, but they are real, and I'm always happy to share them. Okay, so that is it. Do I have another 5 minutes? No? Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay, so the next time I'll do my affirmation for abundance. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Oh, thank you.
Wonderful talk, as usual, as usual. But you forgot. I thought you were going to sing a different song. I really did. I thought she was going to sing "Those Boots Were Made for Walking." I was ready. We come to the part of our service, conscious giving. Oh, I won't skip you. And you have something so special for us. This is Cynthia Hart, everyone.
Thank you. I will not be ignored. If you know me, you know that, right? This is a song inspired by Miss Kathy Stringer that I wrote, and I hope you all enjoy it. All things are possible, so let us begin with power and humility. We're not afraid to say we want it all. It's a world of possibilities. We created this very special place. There's so much we can do. We can take the world apart and put it back together new. And innocence will rule the world. Kindness will be gold. And trust will be our currency. With love beautiful and bold. And it's totally possible to have all these dreams come true. It's totally possible. Shauna's dancing. You can join her. Our dreams are precious. Will you hold mine? And I'll hold yours here in my heart. And as they manifest in our reality, let the celebration start. We created this, and there's so much we can do. We can dream a million dreams, and they will all come true. And compassion will rule the day. Our kindness is our gold, and trust will be our currency. With love beautiful and bold. And it's all totally possible. How our dreams come true. It's totally possible. Move to abundance from scarcity, to isolation, to community. And with loving hearts we trust what the universe holds for us. We create hear some hand clapping out there. Much we can do. Sounded good. We can take the world apart and put it back together new. And innocence will rule the world. Our kindness will be gold. And trust will be our currency. With love beautiful and bold. All right, now you're gonna sing it with me. It's totally possible to have all our dreams come true. It's totally possible. It's totally possible. I want to hear you sing it now. It's totally possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia. Never throw. Okay. We come to the part of our service, conscious giving. Money, spiritual activity. Spiritual giving is an opportunity to express our gratitude and open our consciousness to receive greater abundance. It is the practice of participating in the circulation of the universal God. We have 3 ways to give here at CSL West Georgia. You can put your cash or your check in an envelope found in the bulletin. You can donate electronically with your phone by using information found on the back of the bulletin. This information is also being placed in the chat window for our online viewers. You can also donate online using your personal Breeze account. If you donate online, either using your phone or your Breeze account, please put an online giving card in the collection plate to acknowledge your contribution as an online giver. If you did not pick up one at the door, you can get one from the usher. Now, we come to the point where we consciously let us say, freely I give with a feeling of abundance, knowing that my gift blesses others and myself as well.
I give, freely I give, giving from my heart and from my soul. Sing it with me, y'all. Freely I give, and the gifts come back to me tenfold. Lovingly I give, lovingly I give, lovingly I give, giving from my heart and from my soul. Lovingly I give, lovingly I give, and the gifts come back to me tenfold.
And together we say, I am grateful for the divine givenness circulating abundantly through my life, our community, and our world. Thank you. Announcements. Next Sunday, we have the pleasure of having Shauna Kay as our speaker, and it's going to be a message, a wonderful message, as usual.
As usual.
As usual. Now, we were introduced to our Thursday's class by a wonderful speaker, Dawn. It's called a midweek refresher, and it's every Thursday at 7:30, and we have a really good time. We're working on a book that's called It's All About You by Kathy Julene. You all are welcome. We have a great conversation, we have great snacks, and we have great fellowship. Affirmative prayer treatment by our practitioner, Shauna Kay. Anyone who needs support, you can please see Shauna Kay. She'll raise her hand and she will take you in the back in our office and she will speak with you and she will tell you and allow you to know the truth. We also have a box on the table, and in that box you can place your prayer, and then someone, myself or Shauna, we will facilitate a prayer for you. If you noticed, books and CDs, we have books now, and you can look at the books. There's a price list, and if you want to purchase a book, we have the book in our office. So please take your time and peruse and see if there's anything you like. We have Cynthia's CDs there, and you know how wonderful she sounds every Sunday. So please stop by our book table. You can find us on social media. We have a social media platform. CSL West Georgia has a social media platform. So please follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and please go to our website. And we have Facebook as well. We need greeters. We need greeters. If anyone wants to volunteer to be a greeter, please see Ronnie. She will take your information and put you on the schedule. We would love to see you. Last but not least, I will be speaking Sunday. No, today is Sunday, Monday at Douglasville Library. I will be speaking at 5, and if anyone wants to come by to hear a holiday message, you're more than welcome. That's the end of announcements. Let us stand and say our closing affirmation.
Followed by the peace song.
Followed by the peace song. We go forth today knowing that we are God's blessing in the world. Only good goes from us, only good comes to us, and so it is.